Hello and welcome back to TF1C, the Formula 1 chat. We're here to discuss the Formula 2 race in Monaco. It's the first of our F1 weekend roundups for the Formula 2 race. We've got sprint and feature to talk about. We've got a very debatable quali incident to discuss, where we're going to get a little rant probably. So we'll start with that. Liam Lawson took pole but was stripped of it for ignoring yellow flags.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I don't know. It was his final run, so his quickest run, which put him on pole. Drugovich, before him, had put it in the wall. But he carried on going. It was single wave yellows. And Lawson got penalised in both the sprint and the feature.
Yeah, he should have just slowed.
Yeah, I mean,
the rules.
Which then meant he went back to his previous time, which was still good enough for P3, which was in his group, which ended up being P4. No, it was P3. Sorry, P3 on the grid.
P5, sorry. He got dropped. He got two first penalty. And also, Pourchaire that wasn't bad, but yeah.
So then he got so he started P3. Then he got dropped.
I was very confused by the groups because Doohan got a better time than Pourchaire, but Pourchaire finished ahead of him. I don't think there was any penalty there. I think it was just. I think there was a penalty for the sprint, but I think it's just that it was qualifying group. So it would be between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Between the ones in each group, and whoever was quickest then would then get first, the other one would get second, and then if the seconds, one would get third, one would get fourth. I think that's how they worked it out. But yeah, it ended up being very confusing because because Doohan was quicker than Pourchaire, so surely Doohan should have been P2. But
which when we reversed the grid, and we ended up with Hughes on pole.
Hughes, yeah, but off the line, didn't get going. In the formation laps, he had to be wheeled into the pits.
Which then gave
Dennis Hauser had the lead, and he led a lights to flag race.
Domination.
Drugovich was close. He took P2. Armstrong in a round of his own, really, but no competition for Prema there. Yeah. It's Monaco. What do you really expect? It was similar scenes to Spain, where no one can really make an overtake unless there's a huge tyre advantage, which there never was because there was no real. There was some strategy on the Sunday, but especially on the Saturday, absolutely nothing.
On to the Saturday, Enzo Fittipaldi got a great result in P4.
Yeah, I was I thought you were moving on to the Sunday, but yeah. Fittipaldi, good points. Vip's good points as well.
Drugovich.
Doohan takes a very nice 3 points.
Yeah, Drugovich had an absolute stinker on the Saturday. Got a right rear puncher off the start.
Thanks to our king, Roy Nassani.
So they came in, pitted for the wets, took a gamble, hoping it'd rain. Didn't pay off. They went back to dries, and then was told by race control.
They weren't aware whether they could. Yeah. Well, they didn't ever go back to dries, so they're still on the wets. They weren't aware whether they could retire the car because they put wet tyres on and it wasn't a wet race. So whether they'd be disqualified for having a mare.
So spent ages working on what to do with nose control.
So strange.
Eventually they were allowed to retire the car.
Yes.
Bit of a strange Saturday for him.
But in the end, didn't really lose out to his championship rivals much because Lawson scored 1, Pourchaire scored 3. I mean, Drugovich, Armstrong, Vips all scored decently, and they're now 3rd, 4th, 5th. So, on to the Sunday then. Drugovich in the reverse, in the actual grid was P1, and again, lights to flag as we expect at Monaco. Pourchaire got P2, Vips got P3. So
obviously, again, we had two, Lawson and Nassani not getting off the line at the start from the pit lane. Yeah. Liam Lawson's luck at Monaco genuinely could not get any worse.
Well, it could be Charles Leclerc, could get to F1 and then it goes horrifically.
Oh, don't even.
Again,
disqualified from the win last year for his throttle map issues. Gets pole this year, gets penalised. Genuinely, and then just doesn't get off the line on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Could not have gone worse for him.
Now, P4, very strong result for Jack Doohan.
Yeah.
My boy's doing well. If you told me that after 5 rounds he'd be 7 points ahead of Liam Lawson in the championship, I told you were barking up the wrong tree, mate. You're absolutely bonkers. But Doohan's put in some really strong performances. He's got unlucky at times where he's been on pole. I mean, if you look at Imola, he deserves something for that feature race, but came together with Hauser very early on. He had pole at Bahrain, which ended up giving him just 3 points come the end.
Also, Enzo Fittipaldi in the feature got P5.
And
Strong
he's now
weekend for him
jumped Lawson as well. He's 4 points ahead of Lawson.
He's come out of nowhere, really, Enzo Fittipaldi, in the last 2-3 races.
Had a very strong Imola.
He
Obviously, P2 in the feature there, and then a decent Catalunya.
Didn't he get podium in Spain?
And got 8 points, but strong there. And then a further 10 points here, and then 5 in the sprint as well. Very strong form at the moment for Fittipaldi. Yeah. Baku up. Do they go to Baku yet? Baku up next for them. I think he could bring home more points. I do think Lawson will be up there in Baku.
Yeah.
I think Vips will be up there in Baku.
Obviously, last year, those two dominated it.
Drugovich in control.
3 wins out of 4, which is very hard to do in F2 because of the reverse grid.
Leads by 32.
Wow.
It would take an absolute horror show of a weekend for him to drop off from top spot.
That can happen in F2.
We saw it with Piastri.
You
bit of consistency and you'll win.
The sprint and the feature. You're right. Say Pourchaire wins the feature and gets points in the sprint. The season's turned on its head. So who knows? Equally,
I don't see that happening for Drugovich.
Unless he gets taken out.
He got 0 in the sprint and still went on to win the feature. He just seems to be the luckiest man in the world. I'm not obviously he's having a really good season as well. He's racing, he's putting together some really strong performances. But equally, he is getting very fortunate at times. Very fortunate.
If Pourchaire had won the sprint when he got nothing, it would be a bit different. The gap would be closed by, it'd be only 22 and 10 points. That's actually quite a lot. Yeah. So it's just things like that.
Other things of note: Sargent levels Lawson on points in the championship, which is
Sargent's got another few points. He's having a great season.
I feel for Ralph Boschung because I think without his arthritis, he'd be right up there because he's now missed 2 events, which is obviously a 0-0-0-0. If he just scored anything, like Lawson scored 3 from Barcelona and Monaco, Boschung would have got more than that. In which case he would
got
close
6
up the gap.
From Imola as well.
1 from Imola. So that's 4 points at the last 3 events for Liam Lawson.
6 races and 3 quali sessions.
Yes, he's struggling a lot. Hauser starting to find some form now in this season.
Mm-hmm.
P12 obviously got that win. Iwasa P13. He struggled this weekend. He was up there on pace, and then he got a horrible penalty, and then you can't really do much when you're down in the pack, other than just cannon into the side of someone for a laugh on the final lap. And now in the battle at the bottom, Almery Cordia is now last, Caldwell 22nd, Bollock Bassi 21st. The 3 of them are so thick. I know, Bollock Bassi missed 2 events, didn't he? Because he got injured while racing in the
Jeddah.
Second, Jeddah. That was it. I was trying to remember where we went second race. So that makes sense that he's not got points. But Caldwell and Cordeal, they're competing to see who's going to get banned first. I think Cordeal might have a race ban now.
They've got so many penalties.
He's on 11 penalty points, and I know he got some penalties. I know he got time penalties. I don't know whether he'll get any points from that. But if he does, he will be out of action in Azerbaijan.
The fact that drivers like them are in F2, but no one wants to give a Jamie Chadwick a chance.
Jamie Chadwick, Abby Pulling, Jess Hawkins, Alice Powell.
At least they won't get penalised every week.
Yeah, and not even F3. They don't even give a chance at F3. But yeah, strange decision.
As you said, we will see F2 in Baku supporting F1 once again in 2 weeks' time. I think it is only F1 and F2 there again.
I know W Series aren't there.
Yeah, I don't think F3 will go out.
I was going to say, I don't know about Formula 3.
I'll
have a quick look now before we round up.
But yeah, obviously Drugovich leads the championship by an absolute landslide to Teo Pourchaire.
As I said, Vips and Lawson strong there last season.
Teo Pourchaire was right on the pace in Monaco, right on the back of him.
F3 aren't there. So again, same as this weekend.
Yeah, really pushed Drugovich all the way to that feature race win. And I do think Pourchaire can still win this championship.
I don't think the championship's sewn up by any stretch of the imagination. I think anyone in the top 10 could still claim.
It's Formula 2.
Exactly. Anyone in the top 10 could still come through and win it.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I'm probably not very sure. And I doubt Sargent's going to come through. But you never know. It is Formula 2 at the end of the day.
If I was Williams, I'd be very happy with Logan Sargent's progress so far.
He's on the same points as Lawson. Lawson's been tipped for championships and stuff.
I think Alfa Romeo will also be very happy with Pourchaire. That is anything. Drugovich has been in F2 for a while now and has no ties to any team in Formula 1. I just don't.
I think that says a lot
else.
about his future. I think he'll go IndyCar. I think he'll be very good in IndyCar, to be fair. I could see him replacing Pato O'Ward or Colton Herta.
Well, then McLaren,
if they get this step up
now on until 2025.
Yeah, but I think they can always change that. I mean, if an F1 seat becomes an option,
but I would probably only be McLaren that would take him out of the contract.
Yeah,
I doubt anyone else is going to pay to take him out of the IndyCar contract.
No, I doubt that. But also Andretti bringing their team in 2025, they could move Herta into Formula 1 before then to get him ready for when Andretti bring their team in. So maybe a move there. I think we'll see Drugovich in IndyCar, maybe Formula E, but I think that's a little bit lower than his level.
Yeah, because I think it destroys.
I think IndyCar's still competitive to a certain it's not F1, but it's still a very competitive series, and I think Drugovich would do well out there.
Whereas Formula E is just 20
also he'd be loved.
Going around smashing.
He'd have a very big core fan base there. He already has a core fan base.
Because he's the only one of the Brazilians.
He's the highest, if you think about it. Unless you're a massive Sete Camara fan.
And obviously Brazil have got some huge F1 fans out there.
I mean, you look at their list of icons in the past. I mean, Senna and Massa are two big names just off the top of the head. But yeah, that's probably where we'll round up today's video. F1 will be out later for those of you looking for our Formula 1 content. We'll round that up and post that out later. And yeah, if you're going to say who's going to win the championship right now, who'd you say? I'd
be biased to say Liam Lawson, so I'm going to say Teo Pourchaire.
Interesting. I'm going to go Jack Doohan.
Okay,
big time for the UNI Virtuosi.
You are biased.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm just right.
You are biased.
Right. If you want to leave your thoughts down below on the Formula 2 action from this weekend to the championship, feel free to do so. I'll make sure to reply to everyone, unless you comment something really stupid, in which case I won't.
Millions of them.
No, I will. I'll get to every single comment.
All the millions of you that comment on our videos.
Exactly that. Make sure to leave a like. It helps us out. Pushes it out to bare peeps and that. Make sure to hit subscribe. I've had a good flurry of subscribers recently. Yes. We're only 16 off 50. So, yeah.
Let's do it.
Decent that. There'll be another video in the end screen if you want to check that out. So make sure to do that as well. But I'm going to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
See ya.